Today we are exactly 1 month since we scalped and sand leveled this 9,000 square feet, and I'd say it's coming along pretty nicely. Still got some bare areas here where it was pretty much completely sand, and also along the road. I'm probably going to end up plugging some of these areas before too long and adding a little bit more sand, but for the most part it's completely filled in up here. Probably mowed it 4 times. This may be the 4th time. I really hadn't mowed it that much. Had a couple nice rainstorms. I've irrigated it, just my normal, about 1 inch per week. Overall, it's looking really good. Some of these areas are so thick you can't even see the ground anymore. And something about sand leveling it, I guess it hides all the brown dormant grass and the stalks. It's just as soft as can be, and it's thick and green. There's no brown anywhere down in the canopy. There's a good example of one spot where it's starting to spread. You can see all the runners that are filling in that sand area, and that'll be completely filled in before the end of the summertime. You can see all this spurge down the side where it's creeping into the zoysia. I really haven't seen any of it creep in and tack down yet. Pre-emergent barrier doesn't seem to be really disturbed at all by the aeration or the sand. I've probably counted maybe a half a dozen weeds. The reel mower I'm using here today, it's basically a California trimmer, but it comes out of Georgia. Peachtree is the company, and this is a 30-inch reel mower. Very simple. It's not a really high-end reel mower. It is kind of expensive if you buy it new, but I found a good deal on Marketplace, and that's where I picked it up. And the reason I went with this mower is basically because it's a 30-inch cut and I have a pretty large yard, so it worked for what I needed it for in terms of the size. Definitely could stand some improvements that I'm going to be doing here in the future, but for now it seems to work pretty well for what it is. Very well built machine. It's just not your greens mower type mower. I believe it goes from about 2 inches down to a half an inch or so, and we're going to be cutting out about 1.5 inches today. In terms of the fertilizer on this yard, everything that's been put on this area is posted on my channel. Seems like we put out 2 different applications, one shortly after sand leveling and then another one a couple weeks later. Really hasn't had that much nitrogen on it. You could definitely push it a lot harder than what I have. This hadn't been mowed in probably over a week, and it's still only maybe 2 inches tall. So I've only used the reel mower about 3 or 4 times, and definitely like to use it a lot more than that before I share an opinion on it. But so far, just initial thoughts. Really love the cut quality of it. It just cuts super clean. Looks like a pair of scissors went through and cut your grass. I know that's got to be healthier for your grass, but in terms of just efficiency and time, and just I guess it depends on the amount of hobbies you have. For me, I would rather personally just ride the Ventrac and use a rotary mower. I think they both give about equally as good as stripes. I know the rotary won't go quite as low as the reel mower, so if you're looking for a super short cut, you really don't have another option. But this 1.5 to 2 inch height of cut that I'm been mowing here lately has just been awesome. Appreciate y'all watching. If you got any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll be sure to try to answer them.